It's late fall, first week of November, and the trees in the holly collection are starting to show some festive color with the holly berries. So let's go through and check and see how many of the different hollies have produced berries. The first one here is Dahoon holly. Ilex cassine has a pretty good number here. Most holly trees are dioecious, by the way, meaning there are male and female individuals. So the ones with the berries are going to be the females. So that's pretty cool. And then right next to that, the inkberry holly. You can see where it gets its name from the very dark purple berries, which almost look black. And here we have the screenplay holly, which is a hybrid between two Chinese holly species, Ilex integra and Ilex latifolia. Looks like a somewhat nondescript brownish holly berry. Very few berries on the Foster holly here. This is a hybrid of two American species, Ilex cassine and Ilex opaca. Some red berries though on the Foster holly, a very cold tolerant species. And this is the Christmas jewel holly, but it looks like it's a little too early in the season for them. Even at the first week of November, the berries are still green, so I'm guessing these will turn red maybe in December. A very large number of these orangish red berries on the Savannah holly. This is very closely related to the Foster holly. Same constituent species making up this hybrid, Ilex cassine and Ilex opaca, both North American hollies, both very cold tolerant. And here we have the straight species, American holly, Ilex opaca, a few red berries on this small specimen. Here is a very small number of berries on the Centennial Girl holly, which are still green. This is another hybrid of Chinese holly species. There's one lonely berry on the Nellie Stevens holly, just now turning red. And this is not a holly, this is the Pyracantha coccinea, and it has these nice yellowish orange berries. I believe this is the Teton cultivar of Pyracantha. And you can see it's absolutely loaded, and I think that birds will also eat these during the winter as well. So otherwise known as firethorn is the common name for this tree. This is a particularly scraggly specimen. You see I'm letting it grow tall and scraggly, and I'm guessing that it will fill in over time because I'm going for height on this one. Pretty interesting. Not a holly, and since we've already deviated from the holly theme, let's check on a few other interesting status updates for the fall. This is the Blue Prince hybrid holly. This is a hybrid of Ilex equifolium and Ilex rugosa, and it's still blooming right now in the fall. Little spider there too, actually. So pretty interesting that it's this late in the season and the hollies are still blooming. And the magnolia is still blooming as well. I will remind you this is the first week of November, but it's been a pretty warm fall. Magnolia grandiflora, and this is the Little Gem cultivar. Pretty impressive flower for this late in the season. And there's an unopened one getting ready to open and flower as well. This is Elysium parviflorum, also still blooming in November. Pretty small flower. Can't really smell anything. Usually these flowers don't really smell that great anyway, so it's probably great that I can't smell it, but still impressive. And of course this is an evergreen that will maintain its green color all throughout the winter. Here's a look at another flower there. Nice little yellow flower. And the specimen is getting pretty large overall. And this is another plant that's flowering now, the silverthorn, Elaeagnus pungens. Very small white flower with brown spots on it, and extremely fragrant, actually. That one is not even in the ground yet. That one's waiting to be planted with a few other different species here. And I think I may have shown this in another video, but for whatever reason, the rhododendron is blooming out of season. And no idea why that's happening, but there you go. That's the last weird thing happening. Oh, there's one more thing I'll show you. Here's the latest addition to my collection in an area where I lost lots of cryptomeria during the 2022 deep freeze. I decided to replant some trees. Here I have a Thuja green giant there, another Thuja green giant there. That is a Atlantic white cedar, Chamaecyparis thyoides. And something I haven't planted before, this is the devilwood tree, Cartrema americana. I was very excited I was able to get my hands on this. Nice evergreen. And last but not least, the Bona cultivar of Pinus sylvestris, Scotch pine. And you may be wondering why there's so much rock here. Well, this is the very back corner of my yard, and as you can probably hear in the background, I have a dog that likes to come down to this area and bark at the other neighboring dogs, and if I didn't put this rock down, she would really destroy the planting area. So this is anti-dog trampling rock. It's also going to keep the weeds down, so it's kind of dual purpose, but I could probably get away with the regular rock mulch. You can see I've had to pull up a lot of rock mulch and redo some things here, but in this case I opted for much larger stones because they're going to be more resilient, and I've kind of pieced them together here. And around the base of the tree I have the smaller stones to allow more moisture in, and I think this is not really a worry about moisture in this part of the yard anyway, because it's kind of near the bottom of the yard and a lot of water drains to this area. So if this were higher ground, I'd be more worried about putting this much large stone on it because I might block the water. But in this case, I'm not really worried. And there's been no problem with this pretty large Japanese yew here. And then I've got a Chinese hemlock right here, which needs plenty of water. So, so far I've had pretty good success in this part of the yard. And I'm hoping that this will protect these trees and let them grow pretty large.